Alright guys, this lead source is code violations. Now I've got some stuff on the left, but this is a great lead source that I don't think a lot of you guys or a lot of investors in general are going after. And I'll give you an example here in a few minutes, but let me start off by going over the bullets on the left, just kind of explaining what I mean by certain words. First and foremost, medium volume. This is not pre-foreclosures. There's not 2,000 of these a month. But there's a good number. Every city, sometimes they're more aggressive than others on citing people that aren't keeping their properties in tip-top shape. And most of these properties need a lot of repairs before the city will go out and do something about it. So medium volume means there's probably 10, 15, 20 of these types of leads each and every month, kind of depending on how big your backyard is. Number two is less worked. Again, I don't think there's a lot of investors that take the time to get these leads sent to them or go to the county or to the city and find out whose houses or which houses are in disrepair that the city wants changes. Number three is retrieve the leads from the city. Just like I mentioned before, you need to go to the city of Frisco, the city of Allen, the city of Austin, and request this. And how you request it is under the Open Records Act or the Public Information Act. And some city officials or employees are going to give you a hard time, and that's you just say, hey, I thought that we were an Open Records state, and that I'm requesting to get a printout. A lot of times you're going to get better results by trying to make nice with the city employees, but sometimes you have to pull that card, and I'll show you the actual document that I'm talking about. Take cookies. I put that you're gonna attract more bees with honey, and so bottom line is you need to be as nice as you can and as professional as you can. And I usually kind of bring some cookies and just say, hey, does anybody want these? And just kind of try to make friends with the employees, because a lot of times if you do, and you can get a phone number and you can call and say, hey, Marianne, this is George. I just wanted to see if you could email me those code violation leads. And a lot of times she'll package it up and email it to me, because I've made a friend at the city. And then 4 times every month. Okay, what I mean by that is I want you to mail these people at least 4 months in a row. So 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. 4 months. Once you get it, every month you should go down to the city, make it an effort to go to the city, get it, start researching it. And I'll show you kind of how to research it. You'll get the address, and then you're going to mail them, and you're going to mail them 4 times, and it's once a month. And it really, you can have the same message. I just want the consistency of them seeing your marketing piece, your number, your name, and your website. And there's a good chance that they'll call if the problem continues. It might just have been an oversight, but for them to not mow their grass, or to not fix the fence, or to not cut back the trees. But you never know. I'm always looking at different motivated lead sources, and this is one that's kind of hidden under the rough. I want to talk about Heritage. Heritage Circle was a lead that came from a code violation. What had happened is this owner owned 4 full duplexes, and it was 2204 through 2214. Or let's see, 4 and 6, 8 and 10, and 12 and 14. Yeah, so there's a total of 6 duplexes, or half duplexes, or 3 full duplexes. And what one of my students did is she basically went to the city of Carrollton and got a list of all the people that had code violations. And I think there was about 50 of them. And basically she mailed to all 50 of them. She got a couple calls, but and on that mail piece, she got a couple calls because she sent a yellow postcard that had her name and number and said, hey, if you ever want to sell, please call me. We can make you a cash offer. Well, sure enough, this gentleman needed to do a lot of repairs. The city was tired and was after him, and he was going to have to spend some serious money bringing these properties up to the city standard. And he didn't want to do it, so he called her, and she went out and evaluated the property, made him a cash offer, and said, we'll take it as is. And obviously this offer was way under market value. And then she approached me, actually at one of the Roddy Roundups. We sat down, had a drink, over a drink after the roundup. Basically, she went over the mechanics of it. I knew where it was because that's in my backyard. I knew the location, and so the next day I went out there, evaluated it. She had already gotten it under contract. I told her, based, running the numbers, I could give her X, but once I went out there, there's a lot of repairs. I told her that I'm going to have to adjust my price by about $15,000. She went back to the seller. The seller wasn't happy, but they wanted to get the deal done. They wanted to close in 2 weeks. They wanted to get the city off of them, and they did it. So it's a great tool and lead source, and that turned into, she actually made $25,000 wholesaling that deal to me. So she's a fan of code violations, I promise you. Every month she was actively, and you know what? There's not a lot of competition, and part of this business is to separate yourself from other competitors. So I definitely believe in this lead source. I know that she believes in it, and so I want you guys to go to your city, your municipality, and find out. Go to the code violation department and get your hands on these leads. Now, let me open up this Word document. The Texas Open Records Act request, basically, this is a Word document, and I'll have it at the bottom as a download, but you're just requesting that they give you the information. And so I might have this and print this out and basically say, hey, all of the code violations with the address, I mean, they should have the address of the property on there, and that's all we really need. And what is the violation? And if it's high grass, I might, there's different stages, and so look at what the violation was, get the address and the date, and then upload that into your Excel database and start, into your folder of every month you need to be mailing at least 4 months, okay? I think at a minimum, I want you to mail these people every 4 months or once a month for 4 consecutive months. So the Texas Open Records Act, sometimes you have to use this card with the city official. Normally, if you go in there, hey, and professional and kind, you're not the first one that's ever asked them for this, but I guarantee you there's not a lot of requests for this information. So I hope that's helped. Use the code violations each month. Go down there, get it, and then start dripping on these motivated sellers, or hopefully they're motivated sellers. Thanks.